everyone, this is Amy. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you a floral arrangement. I am going to be painting it on this green glass bottle. This is the bottle I've been doing a lot of my painting on. I actually need to start painting on bottles that I'm going to be selling because my supply is running short. But anyways, I am going to be using 3 Amagic flat brushes. I do put the links down below as affiliate links if you want to purchase through those. Number 12 and 2 number 2s, a fine liner by Westonia, and a number 2 Deerfoot stippler. All the paints I use on all my videos are FolkArt paints. I'm using Happy Green, Thicket, Magenta, and for a change I'm using oranges for my center. I'm using Vivid Orange and Autumn Leaves and Wicker White. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. I am going to begin by placing some leaves around on the bottle first, which typically I don't do it this way, but for this video that's how I'm going to begin. Alright, so I'm just doing each side, one into the Happy Green, one into the Thicket, and then doing a quick blending stroke. And I'll just keep adding paint that same way as I go. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started here. Now you can vary the colors, meaning that if I wanted to have the dark on the outer part, or the light, or a little bit of each from one side to the other, I could do that as well. And I am going to actually do that. So basically what I'm meaning by that is I can go like this and have the light on the outside, especially with the green glass bottle, they show up better. But not all your bottles are going to be green, so you can do the design however way you want to. Or you can actually do it with, like, say, the dark on one side and the green. Now you can actually do it with a little hump at the top, or you can do it with them facing down as far as the petals. So this one I did it kind of with the little bump at the top, and the next one I'll show you what I mean. You can do it where they actually just kind of head in the downward direction or side. So it's different. One is a little bit rounded at the top, one is just more squared off. And we'll just keep going. When you do this, when you make your leaves look differently, I think it adds more interest to it. So that's the way I think about it, but you know, that's up to you. If you're new to my channel, please understand that my channel is intended for, you know, people to begin to paint, trying to make simple designs as much as I can to create that, you know, give you some inspiration to give it a try. Of course, when you're painting on glass, keep in mind it's very simple because all you have to do is wipe it off if you're not happy with your design and start again. Unlike doing a palette or paper, you could paint over it, but it's just not as easy to start clean. Now this one I wanted more of the lighter green on the extremity, so I just went over it to make it show up a little bit more. And then again I can come in here and I'm just doing a slight wiggle with the brush and then putting a stem in the center. Now you can add any of the stems with your liner brush. And if you want, that's up to you. And you, of course, can go over your design, you know, layer it a little bit if you want, so that you're actually going over the existing leaves, which in a real floral arrangement, that would be likely to happen. If you have any questions or comments, please place those down below. my video, there is a spot to do that. If you're new, please make sure that you subscribe, excuse me, and hit that notification bell before leaving. Oops, put my brush into the wrong side. Okay, and then I'm also going to come in here and just do some of my basic one stroke leaves, sorry. I'll just act like it's coming here, and again with these I can do my liner brush with them or do it with my flat brush. And you don't have to have 3. You can do 1, you can do 2. Whatever fits your design area. A lot of times that's what makes me consider how many I add or whatnot is based upon the area I'm working in. And just so you know, yes, I am going to take a moment to hit this with the heat gun because I'll be painting my floral design over this. And I think I'm just going to add one little one down here. That. And go from there. I will be right back. Alright, so I went over with my heat gun. And because I'm going to be painting my design over the top of it, I just wanted to make sure I had good coverage. Alright, I'm going to dip one side of my brush into the wicker white, one into the magenta, and give my blending strokes. And you could actually add some more colors to this if you wanted to do 2 or 3 colors to the flower. You know, that would work as well. I'm just going to do the white and the magenta for mine. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do on the chisel edge and we're going to pull towards the center. And yes, even though I dried it some, it's still going to pull up some green. I'm going to do my marks like I'm doing 12, let's say this right, 3, 6, and 9. And come through here. Do the same thing. You can make these different sizes. You can add different pressure to them. So they can be different lengths. They can be different widths. However you want to design them. I'll say my paper sample, I made them really small. And I'm thinking, you know what? I like them to be a little bit bigger if possible. Plus, I can also turn my brush so that I have more of the magenta showing and still pulling it towards the center. Something like this, you might have to add a little bit more paint more frequently as you're creating it, but you'd be the judge. And just take your time, you know, use painting as a way to relax. That's one reason I'm creating these, is I want to give you something that you can use as a tool for relaxation. I don't want it to be something that's nerve-wracking and makes you uptight. And that kind of defeats my purpose. And just be careful when you're painting over the top of paint, the painted surface. Sometimes you might be at risk of pulling the paint up from underneath, even if you've dried it. So that's why I say, you know, just be a little cautious on the pressure you're putting on your strokes. because that can happen. And you could use different size brushes too if you're someone that has a hard time controlling the brush and making different sizes with the brush. You can, do that as well. Okay, so for the purpose of this design, I'm going to do three major plumes. That's where when creating this, I could see maybe putting some other colors in here, like the tea berry or the berry wine. Would be kind of fun too. You could do it either way. And then what I'm going to do is just add in a few, what I would say are just kind of little, I don't know, kind of buds in a sense. Have them just come out here. And I want to put them, I don't want to put too many of them. And again, even on these, you can turn your brush and add some different colors, or have the magenta actually be the lead color and part of it. And just work with them till you get them to look the way you want them to look. So I've got a couple down there. I don't want to fill it up with them all around it. I'm just going to do maybe one up here. I'm sorry, I'm not even paying attention to the screen. I apologize if I floated off on this. I didn't show you all this. I was focused on my design. I'm sorry. Normally I try to stay focused on both. Where my head is today. Okay. So again, they're just real easy. Easy, easy, easy. So then what I'm going to do, come in here next and take my fine liner, stick it into my greens, that's thickets and the happy green, and I'll just keep touching it as I need to. But with this, I'm going to add my little pieces to add it to the stem. There we go. And then I'll trim the bottle and do the same down here. And I'm just kind of rotating it and putting it in and out of the happy green and the thicket. Just remember too, anything I add on my designs, if you are not crazy about it, feel free to adjust, leave it out. If you have a different way of doing it, that's perfectly fine. The point of my designs are to give you inspiration, and then you add your own touch. Alright, so there you have it. Got those attached. Then I'm going to come in with my Deerfoot stippler. Since it's small, I'm going to go ahead and just pounce all of it into the vivid orange. I was going to say green. No, I'm not colorblind, but and I'm just going to do a quick little tap in the centers. Quick little tap, tap. And yes, I did not dry them, so it's possible some of the green will pull up, or the, not green, but the pinks underneath. Then I'm going to take this little different stippler into the autumn leaves, and then just lightly pounce into the bottom, just around the bottom like that. And then I'm going to tip it into my whites, or my wicker white. I guess it's not white, it's wicker white. And just tap it down, tap it down, tap it down. And there you go. If you want to mess with it more and just kind of blend it more, you can do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it be. Alright, so I'm going to take my other number 2 flat brush, put it into my happy green. And I could even add a little bit of the orange into it. Let's see what kind of leaves we get with that, because I want the leaves that I'm doing to stand out a little bit. I don't want them to be exactly the same colors, because then we won't be able to see them. But I'm basically doing little ghost leaves. And that's why I want them to be seen. They're just kind of just like filler leaves. Again, if this is something that you don't like, then leave it out. I like a lot of times like to throw some filler leaves in just to give it some added color, because you know that's what it does really. Alright, then I'm going to take my fine liner again, pull it into these colors, and I'm going to come through and add my, make them just really whimsical, add in here. I mean, I can do some pulls out from there if I want. Just make them just kind of just free flowing, very light. And then do the same over here. Again, I can do some extra little pulls from there. Like that. Just to make them look a little freer. If you want to do some circle movements, like, you know, just like some whimsical things like this, you can certainly add those in as you go. But you don't have to. You know, it's an interesting part of the design, but you don't have to add it if you don't want. And there you have it. You can actually even add some dots if you wanted to spice up the centers. I'm going to leave them as they are because I like them just the way they are. Alright, if you have any questions, comments, please place those down below. If you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe, hit that notification bell. And prior to leaving, if you would take a moment to share this video on your social network with your family and friends, I would greatly appreciate that. Until the next time, please stay safe and healthy, and you have a good one.